Welcome to Inner Balance Qigong. And we're going to start today with a breath of joy. This is a kind of a vigorous breathing practice. It has the breathing and then some arm movements. As always, if you feel like you need to adjust and go at a pace that's different than mine, or if you just need to pause periodically throughout, I really invite you to do that. I'm going to just demonstrate the arm movements first, and then I'll talk us through the breathing part of the practice, and then we'll integrate it all together. First, on the inhale, the arms come out forward, shoulder height. That's the first inhale. Then the second inhale, they'll be out horizontal. Then we'll turn our palms up. Third inhale, arms rise over the head. And then exhale, arms come back down. And so it's going to be 3 quick inhalations. And then the longer exhalations. So each inhalation is synchronized with one of those movements, and then the exhalation, arms sink down. We're going to begin. On the inhale, and then exhale through your nose, arms come down. One more cycle. Here, close your eyes for a moment. And now we're going to be brushing the waterfall. And this will involve rising to the balls of the feet and then slowly sinking back so your heels are down. And you can just come up to even slight little lift, or you can go as high up onto the balls of your feet as you like. And then we're also going to be lifting the toes. So the heels will lift and then the toes. And as your toes lift, it's going to sort of move your whole body backward. So just be aware of that. And, if you lift too high, you could go tumbling, but I would take a step if I were you rather than falling. And keeping your knees bent, slightly bent, will help you to keep your center of gravity lower. And so you'll be less likely to feel tippy. But it's really just a slight bend. It doesn't have to be much. Okay, so the hands begin in front of the thighs. We're going to, on the inhale, raise the arms to shoulder height as we lift the heels. And then with the exhalation, the hands come down past the hips, swinging behind as you lift your toes. And then we do the same thing again, just repeating this action. I'll turn sideways. You can see from this angle. And notice the fluidity of the arms. You could imagine that your arms are seaweed in water, just undulating, fluid movement. And when you rise, see if you can maybe just sort of hover there for a moment before you settle back down. Challenging your balance just a little bit more. Even if your heels aren't lifted very high, see if you can keep them up once you get to the top of your inhalation before you settle back down. Three more of these. Settling the hands down in front of your thighs again. Now we'll explore a little bit of neck movement and adjust, as always, depending on what you're experiencing in your body today. We'll be raising the left arm first with the inhalation. And then with the exhale, bend at the elbow and touch your right ear with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen through the crown so you feel the side body elongate. Exhale, start to tilt the head to the side. And the intention is to drop the shoulder as far away from the ear as possible. Sometimes, it's right up there by the ear. We want to sink the shoulder down, or you could imagine your armpit just kind of falling down toward the floor. And then at the same time, we can press through the opposite palm toward the earth. Breathing here. And if you like, you can just sort of start to lift your chin slightly toward the ceiling and then tilt it down towards your armpit. Just find a little bit of range of motion there, whatever feels comfortable for you. Moving the head with the breath. Come back to the neutral side tilt. And then with the next inhalation, the head rises, extend through the fingertips, exhale, and release. And we'll roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then pause. Same thing, other side. Inhale, arm rises, exhale, touch the ear. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, tilt. And then drop the shoulder away from the ear. With your next exhalation, press through your palm. You might feel a deeper stretch through the side of your neck, and you could simply just let the arm rest there. If you want the amplified stretch, press through the palm, or you can simply direct your fingertips toward the floor. Imagine you have roots growing from your fingertips. And if you want to turn the head slightly. Go ahead and explore that movement. Back to the neutral side if you were moving, and then next inhalation, lift the head, extend, exhale, slowly release down, and roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And pause. Now we're going to inhale, lift through the crown, exhale, turn the head to the right, to the left rather. Inhale, arm rises. So your biceps right by your cheek. Exhale, grip the back of your head now. And we'll inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, tilt your chin down toward your armpit so your elbow starts to drop toward the floor. You're gripping right underneath the occipital ridge and kind of drawing the head down to a degree that feels good for you. You might feel a stretch through the opposite back side of your body. And again, you could press through the palm here or the fingertips if you prefer. Inhale, head rises, extend. Turn your head, exhale, and release down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn the head to the opposite side. Inhale, arm rises. Exhale, bend the elbow, grip the back of the skull. Inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, tilt the chin down. And with your next exhalation, press through your palm if you like. You might be aware that you have a bit more range of motion on one side than the other. Next, inhale, head rises, extend through the fingertips, turn your head, exhale, and release back down and relax at the wrists. Now we're going to bring the shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Meant to do that on both sides, but we're just gonna bring it into the end. Let's do it twice as many times. All right, now we're going to explore some internal and external arm rotation. First, with the arms down alongside the body, just a slight bit of space between your hands and your thighs. And you might feel that there's a little bit of space between the arm and the upper side ribs. With the inhale, we're going to externally rotate the arms. So your palms face forward, and maybe your thumb starts to turn toward the wall behind you. With the exhalation, rotate the arm in the opposite direction. So eventually your palms are maybe facing away from your body. And then just keep repeating internally. With the inhalation, externally rotate. With the exhalation, internally rotate. Keeping the shoulders down, shoulder blades gliding down your back. And imagine that the movement is occurring from the shoulder socket. Rather than turning your hand, turn your upper arm bone so that the head of the humerus is rotating in the shoulder socket. And then everything else is spiraling down from that point. Now, if you like, you can start to pick up the pace a little bit and find a faster rotation. You can even bend your elbows a little bit, flick your wrists. Here, maybe you can get a little bit of bounce in your shoulders as well. And then gradually begin to slow the movement from the shoulder to the elbow. So more of the movement is happening from the elbow down. And then now from the elbow to the wrist. And let's just move the hand and the fingers a bit. And then eventually bring the hands to stillness as well. Notice any sensation in your arms. Consciously slow the breath down. With the next inhalation, we'll raise the arms to shoulder height, and you can have yours lower if that's comfortable for you. And sink your shoulder blades down your back. That will serve as a counterbalance to the raising of the arms. Now we're going to, with the inhale, turn the palms up and keep turning as far as you can. And then exhale, turn them down and keep turning until they won't go any farther. And then just keep repeating. Shoulder blades down engages the back muscles to tone them. And also, it's easier to keep the arms raised for a bit longer. And as you need to release them down, listen to the signals of your body and honor that impulse. And here, if you want to pick up the pace a bit, you can do that. Even bend your elbows a little bit more, flick your wrists out as you're rotating. And then gradually slow it down. Back to just the internal, external rotation. Next time your palms are down, keep them down. Inhale deeply, exhale very slowly as you possibly can, maybe taking as many cycles of breath as you need to gradually bring your arms back down to your sides. Feel the weight of the arms. Feel the sensation of energy flowing within them as a humming or buzzing sensation. Some level of vibration perhaps is evident there. And we'll shake the arms again here. Gradually slow it down from the shoulder to the elbow. Then from the elbow to the wrist, let's move the hands and fingers. Now just the fingers. And then return to stillness. Direct your focus within for a moment. Observe where your awareness is drawn. Which area of the body or areas is drawing your focus right now? Mine is my hands and my feet. My feet, because I've been standing for a while, my hands certainly because of the movement. And so I'm inclined now to turn my feet out and lift one heel and then the other. This helps to just dissipate stagnant chi that's been collecting in the lower extremities. So if your feet feel heavy or maybe a little bit achy right now, this will help to release that out. And then bring the feet parallel. We'll be flexing one foot, shifting the weight, flex the foot and shake from hip to heel. And then you can do just alternate sides. Make sure the foot is flexed, that protects the knee joint. All right. Now we're going to explore a form called North and South Combine. And I'll first face you, and then I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see what the movement looks like from both perspectives. We're going to turn the right palm up, and the left palm is just in front of your lower ribs, chest region, palm facing away from you like you're saying stop. And with the inhalation, we're going to start to draw the right elbow back, palm up, as we push forward with the left. And we'll look at the hand behind it to move forward so don't bump in. And here we are, arm extended behind, and we're going to bend the elbow and bring the hand up over the top of the shoulder like a wave is coming into shore. And we're going to push through the palm here and turn this palm up, so your left palm is up now, and then draw that elbow back, extending the arm behind, looking at it. Bend the elbow, hand comes up over the top of the shoulder and pushes through, saying stop as you pull the other hand back. Always watching the hand. It's like a pass off, a relay race. You want to watch the hand that's coming behind you. And then once your hands glide past one another, gaze at the other hand that's moving back. And here, if you like, you can do a little bit of pumping action with your legs. Just find a little bit of a rhythm there that feels good to you. Or just stay with your knees very slightly bent without the rising and falling action. So it's kind of like swimming the freestyle or the crawl. So we're moving energy from the front of the body through to the back. And then from the back of the body through the body and out into the front. And we'll finish with the left arm coming up over the top, and then we'll draw that hand back in, both palms up. With the inhale, we're going to expand, gather energy into a big ball. Exhale and direct the energy into the lower dantian, just below the navel. Pause here a moment and observe how the body feels. And then we'll release the hands away. Settle them just in front of your thighs or to the side of the body, wherever your arms rest naturally. Now we're going to explore giant turtle swims through ocean, and this is a movement that will allow us to create suppleness in the spine. We're going to bring the palms up, elbows bent right near the body. And again, I'll be facing you initially and then turning to the side. Just step forward slightly. We'll inhale, lengthen through the crown. On the exhalation, start to sit your bottom back and fingertips face your waist, and then extend your arms behind, palms up. So I'm here, then the arms come forward, backs of the hands face each other. Palms turn up, and then the knees go forward, the hips and the chest lifts, chin rises if that's comfortable. Exhale, sit back, arms forward. Inhale, hands past. Actually, what we're doing right now is actually Buddha receives offering. And in a moment, we'll move into giant turtle swims through ocean. So first, the hands are at the hip level when they slide past the body. For the next cycle, we'll bring the palms of the hands right underneath the armpits. Here's the giant turtle swimming through ocean. Same action, just a different orientation of the arms. And the movement in the lower body, with the knees moving forward, then the hips, that creates this undulation that we're seeking to keep the spine supple. And we'll explore one more cycle. And then we're going to bring the hands in toward the body. Inhale, exhale, and release the palms down. Now we're going to explore a form called axe. And this does involve a forward bend. So that means bending your knees fairly deeply. Again, you'll modify it to what works for you. I'm going to turn sideways. We'll be interlacing the fingers, and the heels of your hands can be in contact, or you can keep them farther apart. Whatever feels better in your body. On the inhalation, the arms are going to rise up, and you might do a little bit of an arch in your back here if that's comfortable. Exhale, bending your knees as deeply as you can. Squat down and send your hands through to the wall behind you. And rise, inhaling. Exhale, it could even just be a dip down so that your hands are more between your upper thighs, rather than going into the deeper bend. Push into the floor to rise. Use the strength of your lower body rather than just your back muscles to bring yourself back to a standing position. Two more cycles. Arms rise. From here, with the inhale, we'll separate the hands. Exhale, direct the flow of energy down through the crown, through the whole skull, neck, chest, abdomen. It pours down into your pelvic bowl. Pause here. Consciously slow the breath. And be aware of internal movement. It may be very subtle, but as you draw your focus within and pay attention, you amplify your awareness over time. Now we're going to take a bit of a wider stance, and the hands will come to the top of the pelvis. With the inhale, we'll lengthen through the crown. Keep your knees slightly bent and fold forward. And then we're going to turn the body or the head toward the right, the left rather, and then around to the right. So you can make this as subtle a movement as feels good for you. It could be more vertical in orientation with your body, or you can bend farther forward, farther out and back, as works in your body today. We're going to go around one more time. When you're facing forward or leaning forward, pause there slightly and then go in the opposite direction. Two more cycles. And then pause. Turn your feet parallel. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sweep your hands away from your body off your knees. Inhale, rise up, hands come in toward the shoulders. Exhale, and sink them down. Now we will be circling the arms out to the side, above the head, around, and then down, and eventually we'll go in the opposite direction. This also can involve a bit of a squat down, or you can simply just do the arm movements. You could do this seated in a chair. So you'll find what works for you today. We'll start with the hands moving to the left initially, and watch your hands as they move through space. So the inhale, bend the left leg and let the hands sweep out. They rise, shift the weight so it's evenly distributed between your feet. Now the weight shifts to the other leg as the hands sink down. Here's where you can squat down as low as feels good. Conscious of the weight transference. Push off with the one leg and let the weight and the energy sink down into the other leg. Now the arms fall and we come back to neutral. And then we'll go the opposite way. Pumping action that we're creating with the lower body, with this weight transference, moves the energy. Just like your water pump in your home moves the water through your house. Let's do two more this side. And the arms will settle down back to center, either side of your thighs. Turn your feet parallel if they moved off of that orientation. Slow the breath. Focus is directed within. Allowing yourself a moment to observe. Present to the body, present to the breath. Next form also can involve a bit of a squat. And you can take it as deeply as feels comfortable for you. This is called Great Bear Creeps Low and Rears. I'm going to demonstrate, and then I'll show you some alternatives or modifications. So the feet turn out slightly, and we're in a wider stance. And we're going to begin to slide the hands down toward the thighs, exhaling. And then turning the right foot, so your heel turns out and your left comes to, like you're in a lunge now. We're going to rest the hand on the thigh for support and then bring the other arm up. So we're coming into a bit of a back bend potentially, or just keep the spine vertical. And then exhale, arm comes down and forward. Start to shift your feet. And it's like you're surveying the land here. And then we're shifting to the other side. Hand comes to your thigh. And you come into the arch. And then forward, reaching. Hand comes to your thigh. Adjust your feet. And rise up. Exhale. Dropping down. Bear crouches low or creeps low. And then the bear rears. We'll finish to the other side. Bring the hand forward and then back to your thigh. Feet come parallel. Tailbone tucks, chin to chest, slowly begin to roll up the spine. And then you can bring your heel to toe your feet a little closer together for stability. Receive a long, slow, deep inhalation when you're ready. And then explore an even longer exhalation. We're in horse stance. This also will involve bending the knees slightly or deeply, whatever works for you. The other alternative is just to do the arm movement. We're going to, on the inhale, let the hands rise up to shoulder height and make fists. Then with the exhalation, we're going to extend the arms above the head as we open the hands and squat down. Inhale, bend, and make fists, extending your legs. Exhale, and squat down, extending the arms. And I'm just going to show you from this perspective, we want to sit the buttocks back, like you're sitting in a chair that's maybe a little bit too far away from you. This actually protects the knee joints because it keeps the knees more in alignment with the ankles rather than sending them out forward where a lot more strain is placed on the knee joint. If the pelvis is going directly down, that is harder on the knees. If we sit it back, that creates a better orientation for stability for the knee joint. One more cycle. Hands come back to shoulder height. Here we're going to Extend the arms again, fingertips toward the sky, inhaling. Exhale, slowly release the arms down. Consciously slow the breath to slow the heart rate. Again, a little cardio action going here. So the heart pumps, right? We know this. And it expands and condenses to move the blood through our circulatory system. The cells expand and condense. The lungs expand and condense. Everything in the body is expanding and condensing. I extend my arm. I'm lengthening some muscles and shortening others. I bend it. I'm shortening some muscles and lengthening others. So there's always this oppositional yin yang flow that's occurring within the body. So when we move our body, we are bringing ourselves into alignment with the natural cycles that occur within the body. And so that's the wisdom of the ancients who were observing nature, observing the animals, looking and seeing how in balance, in alignment, in harmony, everything in nature is with itself in that holistic system, and recognizing that we as humans can get out of balance periodically, or we can just kind of live out there on the fringes and on the extremes. And how do we get back to center? Well, the ancients were observing nature and emulating that in various ways to bring the whole holistic system of our being back into balance too. All right, this next form is called Fisherman Casts the Net. It's a little complex, perhaps, at least initially, but once you get into the flow of it, it'll move pretty nicely, I think. All right, so we're going to take a bit of a wider stance, and we will be lifting the ball of the foot and pivoting on the heel, placing the ball of the foot down, and then coming into a bit of a lunge. And it can be deep, it can be very gentle. And then we'll lift the ball of the foot and pivot back to center eventually, and then go to the other side. If your feet are too close together and you go into a lunge, see how my knee is out over my toes? That actually puts a lot of strain on the knee joint. So if you don't feel comfortable having a wider stance, make sure you just take a slight lunge and keep your knee more in alignment with your ankle bone below. If you're going to go into a deeper lunge, you want your feet wider apart so that the knee can still remain over the ankle and you're protecting the knee joint. There's not as much strain there. All right, find your foot distance, and we're going to place the fingertips facing each other. Palms are facing the ceiling. With the inhale, the hands slowly rise to about solar plexus level, just under your bust. Exhale, palms down. Squat down here if that's comfortable for you. Gather energy into the palms of your hands and rise up, inhaling. And we're going to pivot and place the ball of the foot. Now we're going to let the fingertips turn to face the wall behind. So your palms are up just sort of underneath your armpits. And then with the exhalation, extend the arms forward, coming into your lunge. Flick your wrists. Here we're letting go of the net, the fisherman's net. Now, palms face you, fingertips face each other. Straighten the front leg. Elbows in near the body, palms up. And we're going to turn as far as we can, palms down, like you're placing the catch of the day in this imaginary basket behind you. Now flip your palms up again. So the one hand is right in front of your ribs. And then we're going to, again, extend the arms, exhale, flick, inhale, shift the weight, straightening the front leg, palms turn up, turn, exhale, and place the catch of the day in the basket. And then next exhalation, flick. Actually, I should say inhale all the way. But again, you find the rhythm that works for you. We just want to be exhaling on the flick. One more this side. Now hands come in, palms up. Pivot to the center. Feet parallel. Exhale, palms down, direct the energy flow down. Bring it up from the earth. Pivot, the other side. Fingertips face the wall behind with the exhalation, extend and flick. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, extend, and lunge. Now, if when you turn your body, you're noticing that maybe your front knee is uncomfortable, pivot your foot here so your feet are parallel. And then just pivot back with the foot as you extend your arms out. That can put less strain on the knee joint if that seems to be challenging you right now. And we'll explore one more cycle. Back to center, pivoting, feet parallel, palms down, exhale, direct the energy down. Now imagine you're bringing energy from the earth through your feet, up your legs, and then anchor it in the lower dantian, just below your navel. And then you can step or heel to toe your feet a bit closer together. Coming back to horse stance if you went wider with your feet. Tune into the breathing. Slow it down. Belly is soft with each inhalation, as though there's a balloon expanding in your abdomen. With the exhalation, draw the front wall of the body toward the back wall of the body, toning the abdominal muscles. Here again, we're creating a pumping action. Like a bellows, fanning a fire. In this case, we're fanning the internal fire. Inhale, hands come away. Exhale, release them down by your thighs. Now we're going to explore warrior woman. And here again, you could go into a level of squat if it feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, simply do the arm movements. And this can be done seated in a chair. If you're seated in the chair, I would have you move your legs apart, just as I'm standing with my legs a little bit farther than, well, at least to horse stance, could be a little bit farther if you're going to go into a deeper squat. If you will be squatting down, turn your feet out slightly. With the inhalation, we'll slowly bring the arms up. Elbows are bent. You've got a 90-degree angle, more or less, at your elbow, and the elbows could be lower. The palms are open here. Now, with the exhalation, we're going to slowly start to make fists, bringing the elbows and wrists together. And here you could squat down. Push your forearms together. Inhale, rise if you squatted. Elbows and hands come apart as you open the palms. And you can draw your shoulder blades toward each other, elbows back. Exhale, slowly come into the squat if you like. Otherwise, just do the arm movements, pressing when your elbows and wrists come close. So we get a bit of an isometric contraction. So you simply could just keep your legs extended with a very slight bend here and just do the arm movements. 3 more cycles. Next time your arms come out, pause. Now here we're going to, with an inhale, gather a big ball of energy within your arms. Exhale and condense it, directing the energy into the energetic bank account of the Dantian. And then you can take a narrower stance again if you stood wider. Now I'll be exploring parting tall grass, and we'll bring our feet to what's called a stance, and the feet are in alignment with the hip bones, or maybe you could say your walking stride distance. And then we'll release the hands if you haven't already. Now you have some options here for what you're going to do with your feet. We've explored some forms previously that use this same foot placement, and I'll just keep repeating it just to anchor it into your consciousness. I'll be demonstrating the most challenging, but I'll start with this is the least challenging in terms of your balance. We'll be lifting the foot, and then you can place it right back where you lifted it from. And then just do the upper body and arm movements. You can lift the foot and place your feet close together. This requires more balance. You can lift the foot and go heel to toe, about the same, maybe a little bit tippier. And then the last option, which is what I'll be demonstrating throughout, is lifting the foot and then crossing the one knee in front of the other. And in any case, if you want, you can squat down, regardless of where your feet are in orientation. And then we'll lift and then place the foot back down, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, we're going to get going with the arm movement now, and I'll just be integrating it all together so you can follow along at your pace. We'll be shifting the weight to the right leg first. On the inhale, lift your left with your arms, palms together above your head. Exhale, place your foot wherever it's going to land. Now inhale, fingertips face away from you, extend your arms forward. Exhale, start to open your body to the left as your arm goes back behind you, looking at the hand if you can. Inhale, hands come together, palm to palm in front. Exhale, bend and hands to your heart. Inhale, now we rise up, lifting the foot. Exhale, release the foot down. Weight is evenly distributed, arms fall. Shift the weight to the other side. Inhale, lift the foot. Exhale, cross or place the foot wherever it's going to be comfortable for you. Inhale, fingertips forward, extend your arms. Exhale, twist the body, opening the right arm, looking back if you can. Inhale, forward, palm to palm. Exhale, bend your elbows, hands to the heart. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, and sink down. One more each side. Forward, inhale, exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, and sink. Last one this side. And slowly release the arms down. Next inhale, arms rise to shoulder height. This is rising lotus. Exhale, bend your knees if that's comfortable. Bring the backs of your hands together. And then inhale, hands start to rise. Come all the way up. Exhale and sink down. Backs of the hands. Be told, this is actually called fountain, with the backs of the hands in contact all the way up. We'll do that one more, and then we're going to switch to rising lotus, which is pretty much the same, but slightly different. So here we're going to bring the backs of the hands together. They rise up to about heart center, then let your palms touch and go the rest of the way. One more cycle. Release. Slowing the breath to slow the heart rate. We're going to end the practice today with a bit of a meditation. So if you want to sit for this, you may. I'll just remain standing because I don't have a chair in the room right now. And I'll give you a moment to get yourself situated. Begin by bringing the palms of the hands together. And the elbows are in near the body, directly underneath the shoulders. Allow the shoulders to begin to fall away from the ears. Now, dropping the chin slightly, begin to gaze at your hands and rub the palms of your hands together as firmly and briskly as feels good in your body. Observe the breath, make sure it's flowing freely. Now pause, and I'm going to come closer just so you can see what my hands look like. So the palms are together, and if your thumbs are slightly bent, you have a bit of an opening there. It's like the opening to a cave. And it looks, the hands, the little opening looks maybe like a little bit of a seed, like a sesame seed, perhaps. But your palms will be up, fingertips facing away from you, and you're looking down into that space and observing the breath. It's a soft gaze. And you may notice that the shape that your hands are making, as I said, looks like a seed, like a sesame seed. And you might remember in the story of the Arabian Nights, or all of the stories of the Arabian Nights, there's one particularly, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. And there is this magical place called the Cave of Wonders. And in order to open the Cave of Wonders, there was a specific incantation that was offered. And you might remember it as open sesame. But in actuality, it's open says me. And here, as we gaze into the Cave of Wonders, allow the seed of an intention to begin to arise in your mind, something that you'd like to manifest in your life or activate or return to explore, to experience. So bring this seed thought to mind. As we focus on anything, it amplifies in our experience. So you can imagine now this seed thought is in your mind, and with your focus, you're going to be directing that intention right into this opening and planting it in this cave of wonders, sort of like planting a seed in the earth. In the darkness, the seed begins to germinate. We plant the seed thought of our intention in the dark of our subconscious mind. With our focus, we're nurturing it, we're watering it, we're fertilizing it. The more we think about it, the more we talk about it, the more we write about it, we amplify the energy of it, and it comes more quickly into our experience as a result. With your next inhalation, you're going to plant the seed of this intention into your heart. So bring the hands up to the heart. Imagine that you're placing it right there in the heart center, one hand on top of the other. Breathing deeply and rhythmically. Holding this intention in your mind. Begin to envision what your life will be like once you are experiencing this in its fullest blossom in your life. Note how you may be feeling emotionally. What are you sensing in the body? Imagining that this experience is already underway, you're in it, you're living it. And notice that feeling in your body. If you notice any doubt creep in, any thoughts that are contradictory to your ability to manifest this in your life, just allow them to dissolve away. Bring your focus back to your intention. And the thing about planting a seed is that we have to let go of our attachment to it. We have to put it in the earth, bury it there in the dark, knowing that the cycle is required. A certain length of time is required for this seed to germinate, to send its roots down, shoot up, start to show itself above the surface of the earth, working its way toward the light. And if we get impatient and we want to know why we're not seeing the results of it yet, we can disrupt the cycle. So patience, perseverance, keeping our focus on our intention, keeping our eye on the prize, brings whatever it is we want to manifest into our life more quickly. We release our attachment to the outcome, knowing that it's already in process, already in progress. As soon as we bring the intention to mind, the only thing that keeps it from manifesting more quickly, or in some cases at all, is our own doubt, is our own impatience, is our own disruption to the cycle. So whatever this seed thought is that you brought to mind today, keep it active here, germinate it, nurture it, fertilize it here in your heart center. remaining focused on it and noting how it feels, to imagine that it's already underway, it's already even has blossomed and is activated in your life. With your next inhale, bring the hands away from the body. You're releasing our attachment to the outcome. Exhale, let the hands release down. For a moment, notice what you notice. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We'll complete our practice with the bow. Inhale, arms up. Taking hold of your thumb, wrap the fingers over the knuckles. Drawing yang into the three dantians, lower or upper, middle, and lower. Honoring the earth, bringing yin into the three energy centers to create balance and harmony. And then direct the energy all the way down to the lower dantian again.